No, it's my turn to introduce us. Again, I'm doing the board. It's actually not difficult. I'm just not used to it, so I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm getting better, right?
You are getting better, actually. I'm very proud.
Are you really? I'm
yes.
so nervous. Anyway, we are back. This is What Grinds Our Gears. We just got back from our break, and before our break, we were discussing what it's like to be a freshman, but Jamie and I did get horribly interrupted and distracted, as we always do with everything that we're talking about. But now that we're back, we are, we're not going to give a rant. Jamie is going to give her rant, and I'm actually really excited because I have not heard it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's go.
Yes. So, you know who is truly annoying when it comes to classes? That kid sitting next to you being disrespectful is truly annoying. Stop it. You don't know what's going on? Then maybe you should spend some time to actually study before you come to class, instead of getting high all the time. I don't want you anywhere near me asking the question, what is going on? You keep talking to everyone sitting next to you. You're loud. You never take notes. You never read. You don't pay attention to what the professor is saying. And you always ask idiotic questions. Questions to which the answer has already been given. And you would know that if you hadn't been talking to your friend the whole time. You treat this class as if it were a joke when it's actually important to some of us. I don't know why you're here. Maybe you needed an elective and randomly chose this class. What I do know, however, is that you're being extremely rude. You're making it impossible for the rest of us to concentrate. How would you know if this class is important to someone else? It's probably a requirement for someone else's major and not yours, but that doesn't mean you get to slack off and make a joke of it. If I'm paying a lot of money for my education, I'm going to take it seriously, and I expect you to do the same too. I need you to stop complaining about how boring, hard, stupid the class is. If that's what you really think, then maybe you should just leave. Okay, that came out wrong. I
know what you meant. It's okay.
Yeah, no one is stopping you from walking out that door. In reality, if you left, most of the class would be relieved, actually. The professor would be glad. You come here to sit and complain, and you waste everyone's time. Do you see me complaining while the professor's speaking? No. I respect them, and you should do the same. If you're honestly lost in class, then maybe you should do something about it. Don't just sit there and be confused. Ask for help. Tell the professor about it. Don't do it during my time or the other students' time. Thank you.
I actually completely and totally agree with you, because in one of my classes, I will not say which, but you know which, because I've complained about this class endlessly. There's this group who everything that the professor says, they don't know what's going on at all.
Yeah.
Someone asked, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, because no filter, remember? Someone asked like a week or two ago what the difference was between a thesis and a conclusion. And I am still thinking about that. And her, reason behind it was, well, they both kind of like summarize what you're going to say. She's right. But how wrong can you be? I mean, yes, it is required class, and yes, maybe it's not the class that I most look forward to, but it's 50 minutes.
Yeah.
You can sit and be quiet for 50 minutes.
For my class, I'm taking Intro to PR, and I probably shouldn't say this either because it's identifying someone, but most people don't know who I am in that class, so they wouldn't know about this. But there's this, now PR is just, it's a class that I have to take for my major. It's an introduction to my whole major, so it's really important that I do well. I pay attention. I listen to everything the professor says. I try my best to take good notes, to do everything well, because it's important to me. And this kid, he's not even majoring in communications. He's a business major, and he's taking that class. And for him, it's an elective. He said so when we began taking that class. So he's always being disrespectful, and I know he wasn't there today. I was so glad, but he's always being that kid that I described in my rant, And we went on this website for a PR firm that the professor was saying about. They have internships and everything, and she was telling us how, if you're interested and you meet their criteria, you should apply for an internship because it's really well recognized and it's going to be really good for you, blah, blah, blah. And then this happened. He raises his hand and goes, "Oh, wait, this is for PR, right?"
No.
And
for farming.
And I looked at him, and I rolled my eyes so far back into my head that I think I saw my brain.
Can we have that a thing? Like, can we every single show say I rolled my eyes so far back I saw my brain?
Because we do that every day.
We do it every day. I don't want to say we're very angry people again, but it's
We are.
You are. I don't care if you have a scholarship. Some of us are paying a lot of money to go here.
Mm-hmm.
And you're making a fool out of yourself.
Yeah.
And the professor's getting annoyed, and I'm getting annoyed, and one of us has to leave, and it's
But
not me.
she didn't even get annoyed though. She said, yes, this is for PR. And if you're interested in something else, here's the link. And he was like, oh, okay. But I don't understand how she couldn't have been annoyed because he's just a somebody. He's something, all right?
He probably isn't even going to try to get the internship. He probably just wanted to raise his hand to raise his hand.
Yeah, exactly.
People just like the sound of their own voice.
I
I am one
don't
of them,
know.
but you need to stop after a while.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
It's a mess.
And then, it's just asking really. And then he was the same kid who asked about, we were talking about the difference between nonprofit and for-profit organizations. And everybody knows that, private colleges are nonprofit, like Iona. That's just...
Aren't all colleges nonprofit?
Yeah.
Okay. Never
All of them. Anyway, so Iona's nonprofit, right? And he was like, no way! I thought it was for profit because the tuition is so much money. And I was like, that makes no sense. And then he goes, but wait, Nike is nonprofit or for profit? And then the professor goes, yeah, it's for profit. And he was like, oh, but like, couldn't they like go nonprofit? Because you know how nonprofit get exempt from taxes from the government because they're nonprofit. And again, my eye roll. I was just like, really?
Rolls
Really?
eyes so far you can see your brain.
And I could tell the professor was just like, what? Who are
What
you?
is
What
wrong
type
with
of
you?
kid-
Why
Yeah.
are you here? How are you in college?
Because I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's crazy. I'm gonna be
is,
quiet.
Like, morally and ethically and religiously, it's just wrong on all levels.
Yeah, exactly. Could Nike ever go for profit so that they can not pay as much tax as they do? Does that make sense?
I know
feel
what
like,
you mean.
yeah.
You're saying that he was wondering if Nike could go nonprofit so that they would not have to pay taxes.
Yeah, as much. Yeah.
That's a
it.
special kind of crazy. Like, I worry about how could you?
I love how you don't even know what to say exactly.
I'm not even mad. I'm just annoyed. You've told me the story before.
Yeah. I thought I'd share it today.
Again, with our lovely fans.
Yay.
Except we don't really have fans. Everyone that's liked our Facebook page is either related to us or they've been friends with us for so long that they have to like our Facebook page.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Unless you're me, I just kind of keep sending it to people until they like it. I'm very annoying. But, yeah. What are we talking about next week, Jamie? Do you want to introduce it?
Yes, I'm very excited. We're excited. So, on Friday, Brianna and I are going to go on a date because we're going to go see 50 Shades of Grey. Came out this past weekend on Valentine's Day, and we're going to go see it finally. And then we're going to be talking on Wednesday about the movie, our thoughts. We're going to be talking about the book and what we think of the movie and the book and why it's being so criticized, but so widely criticized.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about feminism and all of that fun stuff that relates to the book, I guess, that, the issues that have been brought up.
The issues that...
Uh-huh.
The thing is, when the book came out, I want to say it was just a book, but when the book came out, I feel like it wasn't as publicized. Not that no one cared, because it was definitely very popular, but it wasn't such a phenomenon. Now that the movie is out, everyone is watching it, and it's being advertised on, like, billboards and
Everywhere.
bus stations, and a lot of people, including myself sometimes, are very upset about the fact that, not that this is becoming a social norm, the relationship in this movie, but just that it's not the relationship that it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so the issues, feminism, abuse, people defending their sex lives, we're going to be talking about that next week.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very exciting.
It is. I can't wait.
Uh-huh.
It's also going to be a little angry. But because of that reason, next week we might not have a rant. I don't know if I said that today.
Yeah, no, you haven't said it. We are not going to because we don't have time to do it because these topics that we've done, they're less heavy, less They're smaller than the ones next
The
week.
topics that we've done so far, including this topic, are not important. They haven't been anything worth any social value, social norm, discussing
Yeah.
this or debating that.
Like our second segments, I mean, we can't make a whole hour talking about just that, the topics. But next week we can. We're going to spend the whole time talking about it.
We are going to have our, I almost said daily news, that's not a thing. We are going to have our weekly news, but other than that, it will be discussing and debating the topics.
Yes.
Brought up by the movie and brought up by, how do you say, cultures, groups? Is that how you say?
Cultural groups.
Cultural groups. Brought up by different groups of people in regards to the movie and why they think it needs to stop.
We should have had a guest the next week. I know it's just random that I kind of said it, but
While we're on air, we should have a guest.
we should have a guest.
Well, if you are listening, which you probably aren't because we have exactly 2 viewers, if you, live viewers, if you are listening for whatever reason, or you may be watching it later on, and you do want to guest star, you could contact one of us. I'm pretty sure everyone that's liked our Facebook page realizes that they can contact us through the Facebook page. So, yeah. We also need to update that page.
We do. We're going to have our podcast that we're going to be filming tomorrow, recording tomorrow. We said this last week, but this time we really mean it.
Both of us, this past weekend, Valentine's weekend, romantically, were very sick.
Yeah.
I got sick, and then I guess I got Jamie sick. Because literally the day I started feeling better, she texted me and she was like, I think I have the flu.
Yeah. I was sick. I was a mess this weekend, so.
We're both messes. We're hot messes, though. It works. Whatever helps.
So, don't forget to follow us on Facebook.
That was not even an end. But don't forget to follow us on Facebook. We do not have a Twitter or an Instagram up yet. But like our Facebook page, listen to our show. The podcast will be up. We will be updating everything.
We're going to upload this episode.
More. We will be posting more, and I promise that we will. We're going to try to be funny.
It's anything and everything with Brianna and Jamie.
Yes.
Because we have a radio show that's called What Grinds Our Gears, and we're going to name our podcast something else. We don't know yet. So that's why we're
going to have a few different things. We want to try to be active and get all of our angry emotions out. We have a couple minutes left. But as you know, the podcast is everything that we can't say on air, associated with the radio show.
Using all the words.
And talking about the people without using code words. And
we're gonna, we should make up like names.
We will. We're going to give everyone a fake name. It's going to be funny. We need to make like a chart so we know who we're talking about at the time. But it's going to be great. We might have some YouTube videos up, but we're not sure. I don't know. Are we?
I want to, yeah. But we'll see.
We're going to try to see what we can do. We want to be an active presence.
Yes.
Is that the right terminology?
We want to be public figures.
That's an inside joke that we can't get into right now because it involves people.
We'll get into it in the podcast if you want.
We will get into it in the podcast, but it's annoying. We're annoying. Why do we have friends? This is why we don't have friends, actually. Jamie and I, our only friends are each other. And sometimes, like, one other person.
That joins us for lunch, like, once a week.
I love her.
I know.
I'm going to text
Tomorrow, we're going to have lunch with her, I think.
Yes. I like that we're talking about our lunch plans while we're on air.
This so you know, it's a little. Actually, I think it's over, maybe.
We have 4 more minutes left, but, again, I want to apologize. What happened was I was really sick, and Jamie did leave me in charge, I guess, to do the script. Her only job was to do the rant, but I did the script today. I'm admitting. That's why it sucks so much.
No, it doesn't suck.
I did the script today.
I did the news and then you did the script, the second segment.
We had a really rough week, a really rough weekend, even though it was supposed to be cute and romantic and light. And next week, as we say every week, is going to be better.
Actually, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because I am single, so... that's why I had nothing to do.
Single
I actually had something to do. Yeah, single. That's what it should be called, guys. Come on.
I feel like if you're in a relationship, every day should be Valentine's Day.
I know.
You shouldn't wait romantic and loving
that one day year when you're good to your significant other. Buy flowers for them like every day.
Jamie didn't buy me flowers for Valentine's Day. How depressing is that?
I didn't know where to buy flowers.
I'm buying you flowers for your birthday.
You're so sweet. I love flowers. Do you know my favorite?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what are they?
Orchids.
Yes.
Perfect. I would be such a good boyfriend. But, okay. It's time to get off air. So follow us, not follow us. You can follow our Facebook page.
Like
our
us on
Facebook page.
Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We don't have anything else.
No, but
You could follow me on Tumblr, but my Tumblr has nothing to do with anything else.
You could
relative
follow
to
me
my
on
life.
Instagram. I'll have to approve you, but you can.
We don't like people, so
Amy
Instagram's
Martinez.
the best. Yami.
Amy Martinez.
Amy
Okay.
Martinez one. I know. I tag her in things every day. Okay.
Bye.